Spoiler alert, I don't work 40 hours a week because I'm a mom first and CEO second. Tune in to hear exactly how I run my business in just 20 hours a week. Yes, even with daycare and school drop-offs and pickups, dinner duty, and everything in between. Welcome to the Moms Make Money podcast. I'm your host, Jenny. I'm the owner of Moms Make Money Collective, a podcast and visibility strategist and mom of two. Many moms feel like we need to sacrifice our careers for our children, but I wholeheartedly believe that we can have a thriving business and family at the same time. In this podcast, we're going to be diving into the ins and outs of running a business as a mom and getting real and raw about all things parenting. So buckle up because we're about to go all in. Hey, welcome back to Moms Make Money, the podcast for mom entrepreneurs building sustainable service-based businesses in part-time hours. I'm your host, Jenny Sunnison, and today I'm pulling back the curtain on a topic that I get asked about all the time. And that is, how do you actually run a business in just 20 hours a week? I know the idea of a 20-hour business week can sound like the dream, especially when you're juggling diapers, drop-offs, client work, and figuring out dinner all at once. But I'm here to tell you it's not just possible, but it's absolutely doable. With the right systems, strategy, and support, it becomes your new normal. So today I'm giving you the real behind-the-scenes look at what my 20-hour work week actually looks like. I'm going to walk you through how I structure my days, the types of tasks that I focus on, and what I don't do anymore to make this work. No fluff, no filters, just honest truth of what this lifestyle truly looks like. Let's jump in. So first, let's start with the why. I didn't build my business to work 40 plus hours a week. I built it because I wanted flexibility. I wanted to be both present for my family and pursue my passions. But after trying to squeeze a full-time hustle into part-time hours, I realized that something had to give. That's when I got serious about simplifying my offers, my systems, my schedule. I trimmed the fluff, cut the busy work, and focus only on what moves the needle. Working only 20 hours a week means I've had to get super intentional about where my time goes. But it's been one of the best decisions I've ever made for my business and my life. So let's talk about what my weekly schedule actually looks like. So here's how I typically structure my 20-hour work week. Of course, it can flex depending on what season I'm in, hello, current summer schedule, but this is the general flow. So Monday is my CEO and strategy day, and I spend about 4 hours this day. And I'm working about 4 hours this day. So this is my planning and visibility day. This is a day I check in with my goals, I map out priorities, review metrics, and often record a podcast episode or batch some sort of content. Tuesdays and Wednesdays are my client days. So this is where I do client work, coaching calls, and this is 8 hours total. So typically around 4 hours each day, but some Tuesdays might be a little less and Wednesday might be more and vice versa. And these are the days that I do my Done For You podcast management work, or launching work, or meet with coaching clients. I try to keep all calls to just 2 days per week so the rest of my week can stay flexible. Thursday is my content and creation day, and I spend about 5 hours on this day. So this is my day for creating. I'm doing emails, creating new digital products, templates, or trainings, emails, other content for social media, podcast episode content, new digital products or templates that I'm creating, or even trainings. It's often one of my most productive flow days. And then we have Friday, which is my admin plus overflow day. And I usually spend about 3 hours working on Friday. And this is my lighter day. So this is the day I'm catching up on emails, checking in on systems, and make sure everything is going out as it should. I finish anything that slipped through the cracks during the week, and then I close the loop before the weekend. And sometimes if I've had a full week, like some days I'm working more than the kind of 4 to 5 hours a day, then I take Friday completely off because this is about sustainability, not hustle. So let's talk about my top priorities in a 20-hour week. You might be wondering what actually fills those hours. So here are the categories that I personally prioritize. So number 1, revenue generating tasks. So anything that brings in sales, things like nurturing leads, pitching, delivering services, and launching. The second thing is client delivery. So this is where I'm supporting my podcast management and launch clients and coaching students. Number 3 is marketing that converts. So my podcast episodes, email newsletters, focusing on my summits and bundles and other collaborations. All these things are things that convert for me and very low lift marketing as a mom. And then the fourth thing is systems and automation. So I'm setting up tools and workflows that save me time long term. If I find that I'm doing a process more than one time, I will find a way to systemize or automate it. And then lastly, we have content creation. So writing emails, podcast episodes, writing emails, outlines for podcast episodes, creating digital products, templates, and course materials, maybe even some social media content if I have time. That is what is in the content creation bucket. And here are some of the things I don't spend time on anymore. So I'm not hanging out on Instagram all day long. I'm not doing everything manually. I'm also not saying yes to every opportunity because I used to do that and it was the fast track to burnout. And I'm also not trying to be everywhere and do everything because that is not sustainable long term. So now let's talk about my 3 favorite time-saving tools because let's be honest, you don't get to 20 hours a week without some serious support. So here are the 3 tools I swear by. Number 1 is ClickUp. This is where I am managing my projects, making sure I'm getting everything done. Totally necessary for me to keep my head on straight. Then we have it's a 2-for-1, Loom and Descript. So this is where I'm recording videos for my clients or my team. And then obviously I'm doing my podcast episodes in Descript. So creating my own podcast content as well as editing my clients' podcast content. And then lastly, we have Zapier. So this is for creating automations that connect all my tools together and make sure they're working seamlessly. These 3 tools help me remove myself from the repeat task and protect my time like a mama bear protects nap time. So you may be wondering what makes this work long term. The biggest secret to making the 20-hour work week sustainable is boundaries and focus. I say no to a lot. I don't take every client that comes my way. And I really try my hardest not to chase shiny objects. I've built offers that fit into my life, not the other way around. And I know what actually drives results, so I stay focused on those tasks. So if you are dreaming of a 20-hour business week, but you're stuck in a 40-hour mindset, I want you to know that it's totally possible. It takes clarity, it takes systems, and it takes letting go of some things, but the freedom you gain is so worth it. So I want you to start by asking yourself these questions. What tasks truly move the needle in my business? Then I want you to ask yourself this question. What can I simplify or automate? And then lastly, where am I leaking time or energy? Because friend, you did not start your business to burn out. You started it for freedom, for flexibility, for margin. Let's make that vision your reality. If today's episode gave you a light bulb moment, would you do me a favor and leave a quick review or share this with another mom entrepreneur who needs to hear it? That would mean the world to me. And if you want to dive deeper into how to actually streamline your business into 20 hours or less per week, grab my free 20-hour workweek blueprint in the show notes. It is a total game changer. Until next time, keep building your dream business in the margins of motherhood. You've got this. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. I really hope you enjoyed it. I'd love it if you would head on over to our free Facebook group called Moms Make Money Collective to connect with us further. If you're more of an Instagram fan, make sure you're following us on Instagram at Moms Make Money Collective. If you're loving the show, make sure to leave us a rating and review on Apple Podcast. Your feedback means the absolute world to us. We'll see you in the next episode.